Welcome to the Severe Media Network. This will be my first video on the channel. I hope that you enjoy the content and leave a comment below. May blessings be upon you. Black men and child support. Is child support an attack on men? Is parenthood solely a matter of financial compensation? Is guidance, love, concern, time, development of character, morals, principles, a sense of responsibility and accountability less than valuable for the upbringing of a child? If a parent is financially poor but morally rich and has a wealth of information and experience that he or she is giving the child, is he or she a failed parent? In the 1960s and 1970s, when black people were grossly deprived of work and employment opportunities, they were financially poor, but they gave their children something arguably priceless. They gave them a sense of morals, dignity, self-esteem, and a spirit to go against the odds and become anything that they desired to be. Now, these values and contributions to a child's character is worthless in this day and age. The only value a parent holds in society is monetary value. And if the parent does not have custody of the child, they are economically punished and even criminally charged for their lack of fortune or economic contribution. How much control should the judicial system have over our lives and the lives of our children? Women who use the system to punish fathers. According to 2017 U.S. Census Bureau, out of 12 million single-parent families with children under the age of 18, more than 80% were headed by single mothers. Most black families are headed by single mothers. There's a lot of reasons for that. The historical context is most imperative because the deterioration of the black family evolved because of the conditions in which they were exposed to. When the women's rights movement became a means to empower women, men became the enemy. There was a distinct difference between black women and white women independence from their male counterparts. For white women, their men owned and controlled the vast majority of the country's land, businesses, and resources. There was a lot to be gained. For black women, though, their male counterpart did not own much land, businesses, or access to resources. Black men were the most oppressed, dreaded, and detested population in the United States. They did not own land or businesses. They also was obstructed from employment opportunities, especially ones that earned a livable wage. So while white women had to appeal to the white male population for equal wages and opportunities, black women also had to appeal to white males for employment opportunities. Since black women were a more attractive and appealing decision, the white male population seek to hire black women as opposed to black men. White women, of course, had a higher stake in it and received a higher reward. Black women to this day supersede the black male labor force. Although during slavery, black males were the primary labor force in the entire country, black males by and large was left and discarded by the predominant white society and their black female counterpart. How did this make black men feel about black women? In the most destitute communities, women reigned over these households. The judicial power structure gave women dominance over the family and children. Government programs were set up that catered to women and children and left men out of such benefits. It even demanded that men not partake or benefit from government assistance, like WIC and welfare. Where did this put black men that whites refused to hire and a government that refused to give them or allow them to survive off of aid that was yielded to their very wives and life partners? This made relations of black men and women strained. It also made the woman the dominant within the home and the primary caretaker of the black child. Traditional roles of men and women were systematically reversed. This created an attitude of contention within the black family unit, and a battle over dominance and control was the result. When women could not control the man mentally or verbally, things turned physical, which men dominated and sought to maintain control over the household through violence or the threat of violence. Black women's understanding of the system that favored women utilized the police force and the court system to maintain control and dominance of the home. As a result, women were argumentative, and once it got to a level where they were incapable of victory, violence erupted, and police were frequently called to remove and arrest the black male. The collective consciousness of the black male population understood that they were obstructed from being the heads of the household by black women and a system that empowered them. They became defeated, and as a result, it became easy for them to desert the household. Black men would have sex with women, but would not stick around to be dominated and controlled by women. When women became lonely and scorned by the male's desertion, women learned that they could go to the court and punish the man economically through child support. As child support evolved over time, women began to understand that it can be used as a tool. Many women no longer felt the need to attempt to preserve a family. They could very well force the man out of the home and still would benefit economically. Some women never even had considered maintaining a family and used men as sperm donors. Child support is less about supporting a child, but supporting the child's mother, and to punish men for a relationship that failed. Take rapper Gucci Mane, for example. His child's mother took him to court for approximately $20,000 per month. No child requires that much money to rear, so the money is actually for the mother's lifestyle. The way child support works in many states is the parent must provide a portion of his or her income. That is absurd. Also, normally the father must contribute to the household, and that is absurd. Now children are expected to pay bills. The father has to pay for the child's rent, electricity, gas, food, and clothes, etc. Since when did an underage child have to pay rent to live with their parents? This is how one could ascertain that child support is used to punish, not simply provide. If the mother cannot afford rent and other necessities to maintain the child, they should not be the custodial parent. Any United States resident or person would have to pay rent and utilities whether they have children or not. If the father was responsible for a portion of the child's clothes, food, and school supplies, now that is real child support. A father, though, is expected to pay his bills and the child's mother's bills as well. And that is more than unfair. It is an attack against men, especially black men. Many black women has long joined the battle to destroy black men, and they do so in the name of love. Wake up.